Sam, long time no see. I sent you an invitation to my wedding, but I was just wondering if you've looked at it yet? After all, you haven't sent me any reply back to it, so I've been a little worried. That's why I've decided it's a good idea to text you. You haven't blocked me or anything, right? I'm not coming. I went all the way to send you a text after all these years, though. You're not even going to show me a little love? You don't have to be that rude when we're both adults now, right? I know you're not even married yet, right? I think you're forgetting some things that may have spoiled the relationship we once had. You took my boyfriend away from me back in high school, and then you were the one to tell me that we'd be cutting ties, right? So if that's the man you're going to be getting married to, then that's nice. But I have not gotten any invite from you yet for the wedding. I don't have it at my place, so... And even if I did get it, I would still say no to coming. Wait, you didn't even get it? I tried so hard to make that card as cute as possible for you. So where the hell did you send that pain-in-the-butt invite? To your house. The only house you'd recognize as being mine is from back when I was in high school with you. I'm no longer at that house anymore. Oh, wait, really? Did you guys end up being too poor to afford that place and had to run away? Maybe your dad's company finally went under and you had to sell that house to pay off the banks? This isn't some kind of a TV show, Riley. Why the hell would you think that was the case for us when you could have said something normal, like us just wanting to move into a new house? Well, when you say you're no longer there, that means you have no money, right? Must suck being poor, huh? Well, I'm about to be, what would you say, wealthy here very soon. Man, this world is so unfair to some people, isn't it? Don't try and make up your own story about me, please. A company was planning on using that land to develop more stores, but they wanted to buy it from us. And since they offered a really good amount of money, we sold the place. Really? Because whether it was a good amount or not, I'm sure you would have had to take that money. There's a limit to how rude I'll let you be to me. So you're being serious, though, about not getting the invitation? I'm sure you're saying you won't come because it's too painful to see the woman that stole your boyfriend in high school get married before you, right? Why do you think I'm living in sadness right now? I don't care that you're getting married. Are we done here? I don't have time to be talking with someone that cut ties with me. I'll take a picture of the invite later and have it sent to you on here, okay? I'm going to be marrying a super elite man at this wedding. And this wedding is going to be so luxurious. And my man's parents are also very affluent and run a company that controls all sorts of resorts around the world. Well, good for you. But I'm a busy woman, so I'm not coming. But it'd be a waste for you not to come to such a beautiful wedding like ours, right? And I'm sure that my man will have a lot of his friends there. That could be good pickings for you. His co-workers will also be there. I don't really need a man right now, so I'm fine. Come on now. Are you really that upset with me because I took your boyfriend away? Are you still shocked by all that? Upset that you couldn't get far with a hunk like him back then? Oh my, this is so sad to see. That's not the reason why, but... And even if that happened to somehow be the case, it was all because of you. So I don't want you saying poor things to me after that. It's your fault for letting me take him. But let's be real, I didn't have to put up much of a fight for him. I'm sure that getting away from you was amazing for him. And that's what really pissed me off. You took my boyfriend from me, and after only a week, you dumped him for yet another man. Well, I'm a really sexy woman, so I have to keep myself entertained. It's funny because one day you came up to me asking about my boyfriend, since you were my best friend then, and I let you know about him. And not even a day later, you had him in your arms while you laughed at me. And not just that, but you told him all sorts of bad things about me. And I'll never forgive you for making me look like the bad guy in all of that. I'm so scared by the fact that you took all of that so seriously. Well, I have no interest in ever seeing you again after this, so I'm not coming to your wedding. But I wanted to show off my wedding dress to all of my best friends. Have a great wedding. Goodbye. You're really not coming? You'll regret that, Sam. It's going to be an amazing wedding hall and everything. Hey, Sam, I'll be waiting for you at the wedding, okay?
Hey, thanks for coming out to drink. And actually, during that time when we went out drinking, I didn't say this then, but I'm going to be getting married. Do you think you can come see the wedding?
Wait, you're getting married? Congratulations! I honestly never thought you'd be getting married anytime soon, Chris. Wait, you've had a girlfriend all this time?
Oh, come on now. You know that I'm a good-looking guy, right?
I know that, but you never seemed to stick with any of the women you had before, and you've had a lot of them.
Well, this one is a lot different than those other women. We have been going months now, and our love is still strong. And now we're finally planning to get married to one another.
Well, that's great to hear. So are you going to be asking everyone from college to come to the wedding?
I'm thinking of asking everyone that was in club activities with me.
All those people you'd go out drinking with too, huh? When's the wedding going to be?
In about another 3 months on the second Saturday of that month. Do you think you can make it then?
I think I can make it work. After all, this is the wedding of one of my best friends from college, and we went through it all together. So I'll make sure to be all excited when I come.
Do you plan to be going to any other weddings soon?
Well, I told you about the one before, right? About the girl from high school that stole my boyfriend from me.
Oh, that's the story about how she turned on you being good friends and told your boyfriend a bunch of lies about you, right?
Well, she talked to me about a week ago about her wedding. She said she'd invited me to her wedding and wanted me to come.
But didn't you both cut ties in high school?
And that's why I told her no. But she still went on and told me the date and where the event would be held at. She really has no need to be putting herself through all that trouble.
She's a pretty crazy woman, huh?
What's the woman that you'll be marrying like?
She told me that I'm her first true love. She said I'm the first man she's ever dated and the only man she wants to be with for the rest of her life. When she said that, I knew this would work out for me.
Wait, but I mean, like, where did you find her and what does she do? I already know that you have a way with women and all that. I remember in elementary school you had your first girlfriend.
But I mean, you had quite a few boys into you as well, right? And ever since elementary school until now, you've been mainly friends with guys, right? And most of all, you've been close to me, so maybe we're meant for each other. Anyway, I'd love to introduce you to her sometime so that she can tell you about herself instead of me doing it. After the wedding's all over with, you should come over and we can all hang out.
Now that you mention, after the wedding, do you plan to move?
My dad has an apartment he doesn't use anymore, so we'll move into there. It's a very large apartment meant for a family of 4, so it'll be the perfect place for us to start. That'll at least hold us over for 10 or 15 years, right?
I'm looking forward to seeing all your family, so I can't wait for your wedding.
And my parents have been on me about inviting you to the wedding for a week now. My parents only ever had me and always wanted a daughter as well, so they saw you as sort of their own baby girl.
Thank goodness. Let them know that I'm really looking forward to meeting them at the wedding.
Then I'll send you the invitation soon so that you don't forget the date and place. You still live in that house, right?
Well, if you're talking about the house I've been at all this year, it's the same.
Understood. I'll send it tomorrow, so expect it the day after.
You already know that I'm coming, but I'll still make sure to RSVP.
Thank you. I have to be the one to put together the whole guest list, so that'll make it easier for me.
You've always been good at paperwork, right? You always have a good memory, so when it comes to dealing with lists, you never forget a thing. I'll be waiting on that invitation. After all those times telling me you wouldn't come to my wedding, you finally decided to come here? Did you come here on accident or something? I didn't know myself. Just after I saw you a second ago, you burst out laughing at me. Well, I never actually thought that I'd be seeing you come in today. I didn't even notice you during the whole ceremony, but now that we're all partying, I happened to run into you. And that scared the crap out of me before I started to laugh. Are you planning to stay here for the ending of this wedding? Are you sure it's okay for you to still be texting me when you should be getting ready? Don't you have to be in the back or something? I'm fine. I've already gotten myself ready for what all comes next, so don't worry about me. Now tell me, what do you think of my dress and body? Amazing, aren't I?
Sure are. I'm surprised.
Am I more beautiful than the last time we saw one another? You don't have to compliment me too much, you know. And I want to say, it's okay for you to stick around until the end today, but I didn't invite anyone else from high school, so it'll just be you by yourself today. Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
Even though we don't have a seat for you?
Huh? What do you mean you don't have a seat for me?
Well, this is the most important day to me, and I've made sure of that. So I never actually meant for the woman I cut ties with to show up. I was just joking the whole time, yet you seriously came? Of course there's no seat for you.
That's fine, because I was invited by the groom.
Huh? The groom invited you? What are you talking about?
The reason I'm here today is because I said I'd be coming to the groom's wedding. I'm surprised, though. I didn't actually take a good look at who he'd be getting married to. And because it was his wedding today, I just assumed nothing could go wrong here and just came along with only my excitement. But now I can see that you happen to be the woman he's getting married to today.
Hold on a minute. What? You already know him? You know Chris?
I guess I should have known when you were telling me that he was a wealthy man and both of his parents own a company that has resorts all over the world.
Explain all of this to me right now. Why do you know about him and his parents? Don't tell me that ever since you lost your boyfriend to me in high school, you've been planning to steal my fiancé from me, right?
I would never do that. Do you think I'm a monster too or something?
Then tell me why you know all about Chris.
Way back in the day, his family and my family lived right next to one another.
Huh? Right next to you guys?
He and I ended up going to the same elementary school and the same middle school. And the both of us were really into comic books, so we'd always be hanging out at each other's house and reading them together.
What the heck? I had gone over to your house all the time in high school to hang out, and I never once met him. What do you mean he was living right next to you? Didn't you tell me those people living next to you were an old couple?
Well, my last year in middle school, Chris's dad ended up having to go overseas for work, and so the rest of his family followed.
Huh?
But we still stayed in touch while he was out of the country, and when it was time for us to go to college, he had moved back to the US and planned to go to college here. So after talking back and forth about where we'd be going and helping one another out with the admission paperwork, we went to the same college together and graduated together. But don't worry. He and I had grown up like brother and sister, so never once did he or I ever have anything other than sibling love between us.
So, you're telling me that Chris and you went to elementary school, middle school, and college together?
We were going into 2 different majors in college, but still went and joined the same clubs. And today all those people that were in those clubs with us are here at the wedding as well. So I myself have a seat ready to go, so don't worry about me. And because both his mom and dad are here and are dying to see me, I'm going to be around them talking about my life.
Hold on. You haven't said anything unnecessary to them, right?
What do you mean by unnecessary things?
You know what I'm talking about, right? That's what I want you to keep a secret.
Are you talking about all the lies you told?
Wait, lies?
Did you tell Chris that he was the first man you've ever dated and would be the first man you'd go on forever with?
Why do you know about that?
Chris really loves himself, all those fantasy comics and stuff. So when you said that to him like some sort of romantic fantasy, he was in your hands.
Don't you dare tell them anything that they shouldn't know about. He believes right now that he's the only man I've ever been with.
Just as I expected. You're full of lies, right? Well, I haven't said anything to them yet. Do you really think I'm that petty that I'd rather watch you suffer at the cost of ruining his marriage with you today?
Sam, so you really are my best friend. You're going to keep all of that a secret for our sakes, right?
Well, now that I think about it, I'm talking with him right now.
Huh? Talking with him now? About what?
I'm talking to him about the story of the person that stole my boyfriend from me back in high school again. And we're talking all about that right now. Even though I did explain this stuff to him back in college.
You're joking, right?
You know I'm not. He loves talking about our college lives, and so we have been talking about our high school relationships. And that's when I brought it all up to him.
Did you tell him today that that friend of yours was me?
I just told you. I don't want to ruin this wedding just to watch you suffer, right? I didn't even know you were going to be the bride today at his wedding, so I never thought about mentioning you to him.
Thank God. Please, Sam, keep all of that stuff a secret. I do not want to have to run away from all the money he has.
Are you aware of everything else that's supposed to happen today at this wedding?
I know about the main gist of the wedding, but I left all the details up to Chris to handle. I made sure to put together all the decorations and all the menus for the wedding, and that's about all I helped out with when getting set up today.
Well, then you're aware that there will be a speech today that his best friend will do?
His best friend will have a speech for us? Wait, that best friend
is me.
Stop that! Go home right now, you! I don't even want to know what you plan to say today. Do not take away my happiness. Please do not do this to me. I finally found a man with enough money to make me happy. I had a lot of men that I was dating, and he was the one I chose to be the one.
You were dating a lot of other men?
Wait, that was nothing. Just a lie.
Oh, it's getting time for the final ceremony and the speech. They asked me to go and sit down in my seat, so that's what I'm going to do.
Wait, please, Sam. Do not do that speech for me. Sam?
I'm so sorry about today. I'm in a rush right now, but when everything's been taken care of, I'd like to come and apologize to you.
No, you haven't done anything wrong, so there's no need to apologize to me. You know that this all has to do with that idiot Riley.
But I just could not believe that the best friend from high school that stole your boyfriend was Riley.
Well, that's all in the past now. And so if you're happy with someone like her, then that's totally fine with me. I never really wanted to say all of that in my original speech, by the way. But because of how Riley began to act and throw a fit when I got on stage and then threw her wine glass at me, I had enough of her.
I'm sorry. I also freaked out a little then and was laughing at first at what happened to you. It was like something out of a drama, so I just couldn't hold my laughter back.
Well, you and I both, Chris. I was laughing too.
The staining from her wine will probably not come out of your dress, huh? I'll make sure to pay for a new one for you.
Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that Riley pays me for it. But before we talk any more about that, what about what happens next with you both?
That's right. I have a few things that I'd like to think about. I know that what happened with you in high school is in the past now, and so some of that could be due to her being young and unaware, but it was her fault in the end.
No, I also think it's just because we were all young back then. Now this is all up to you, what you do next, but since you've always been like a brother to me, I only want the future that's best for you, and nothing else. I think this may take some effort, but it might be worth it to start investigating into her a bit more.
Are there things I need to learn about?
Before she knew that you and I knew one another, she told me that she had lots of men she was dating before she finally chose you.
She had been dating other men? Don't tell me. She was actually with other men besides just me at the time?
I don't like to talk bad about other people, but that chick is full of lies. You are not her first boyfriend, and back when she stole my boyfriend in high school, she lied a bunch about me.
Thank you, Sam. I'll think about this all a lot.
Why is this happening to me? Because of you, my marriage is all over the place now.
Because of me? Are you sure this isn't just you getting what you deserve?
You told him about all the things that happened between me and you and a bunch more crap. You lied to him about me cheating on him as well. And now he's telling me if he can't trust me enough, he won't be able to stay married to me. And now he's wanting to get a settlement from me.
What do you mean I told him some lies about you? I told him all the facts about you, Riley. That's all. Honestly, I had been planning to leave all the past in the past and just give a normal speech about the two of you to celebrate your guys' marriage. And so I was never going to say a thing about your past to anyone there. But then you got up on stage with me and threw your wine glass at me before yelling that I leave the wedding, right?
And that was to protect my happiness.
Well, only your happiness, right?
Excuse me?
You made sure to keep yourself happy. You had all sorts of men in love with you so that you had a lot to choose from. And you lied about all of that to Chris, right? You had planned to find one of those men to marry, but then when you saw that Chris had a lot of money, you ditched all those other men and stuck to marrying Chris. But about all those other men you had led to believe would be marrying you, you just threw all their happiness and time in the trash.
What's so bad about me doing things like that to make sure I remain happy?
Actually, if that's the way you want to live your life, then by all means, you can continue doing so. But Chris had never wanted to marry someone like that and be with them for the rest of his life. And so when he found out about that, he had no choice but to be upset with you. He's only one man, right? You have plenty of others to go out and use. So long as you pay the settlement to Chris, you'll be just fine.
Shut your mouth! You came and ruined my wedding when you were uninvited and gave me a bad name for no reason. I'm going to sue you for that.
Well, I happen to have one of his father's lawyers at my side right now, so go ahead and talk to him about how you plan to handle that.
Huh? You already have a lawyer?
Well, yeah, I'm going to need you to pay me back for hitting me with that wine glass and ruining my expensive dress. And you made sure that everyone there got to witness you doing all of that to me. So I think I'm going to have you pay me a lot for that trauma.
Hold on now, Sam. Why do I have to be the one paying you?
Well, because there are a lot of witnesses to the event, and there were cameras on every wall. Everyone and everything saw you throw that wine glass at me and ruin my dress and happiness. So I'm sorry, but there is just too much evidence showing that you're in the wrong to let go of.
Hold on, please. Everyone already wants me to pay for the whole wedding. And the rest of those men that I'd been with while dating Chris are asking for me to pay a settlement for cheating on them. I shouldn't have to pay anyone money for trying to keep myself happy.
So that must mean the phrase, "you get what you deserve," works perfectly here then.
You have to be frickin' kidding me. This is going to end my life. This is not at all what I had in mind. I was supposed to end up with a husband who would pay for all my wants and needs and could live the rest of my life with a smile on my face. And now my mom and dad won't talk to me anymore, so there's no money for me to give up.
I'm about to go out with some friends of mine and Chris's friends from college now. So go ahead and talk to my lawyer about what all you'll need to pay me, okay?
Wait a second, Sam! If I'd known that you and Chris were longtime friends, then I would have tried to make up with you. Then this would have never happened to us.
We aren't in high school anymore, though. We don't just make up over things like that anymore. Now act like an adult and deal with the consequences for us. After learning the grand total from all the settlements for cheating and lying, as well as for my dress and traumatizing me and for the wedding fee and Chris divorcing her, Riley was left with no money in her bank accounts and was working 18 hours a day to make enough money to pay off all the money she had to borrow. Of course, of the guys she had tried to fall back on to marry and save her, none of them came to her side, and her parents were both done with her as well. She had no place to run away to and will forever be stuck with the debt she has. Unless she can make it into her elderly years and finally have everything paid off.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey there, B. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be the wife of a CEO and not you. Got it? You think you're really good enough to marry Marcus? Well, you're dead wrong. I'm the only one who's good enough for him. And now that I've stolen him from you, I'll never worry about working another day in my life.
Rachel, what on earth are you talking about? What is this about you stealing Marcus away from me? If this is your idea of a joke, I really don't find it funny at all, and I'd ask that you not send me this kind of stuff.
Oh, it's not a joke at all, I'm afraid, but I still think it's hilarious. I'm being totally honest, however, when I say that I've stolen Marcus from you and made him mine. No, you're just a lonely girl that nobody wants, and I'm going to be the wife of a CEO. It's like a dream come true.
You mean that you're really serious about all this?
That's right. What can I say? I guess that Marcus just likes me more than he likes you. We spent the whole day and night together, you know. He told me that I was the girl of his dreams and that he always wanted to marry me. He told me that while he was looking into my eyes from across the table, he got us at the most expensive restaurant in town. Then he got down on one knee and proposed to me.
Now that you mention it, I wasn't able to get in touch with Marcus at all yesterday. I was wondering what was going on. But you're telling me that I couldn't reach him because you two were together all day yesterday?
How many times are you going to make me type out the same thing, Bee? Haven't I already made it clear to you that I've made Marcus all mine? You thought that you were going to marry him and become the wife of a CEO, but I stole him right from under you, and now I'm going to marry him instead. How does it feel to have your fiancé stolen from a fellow classmate, huh?
But you don't understand. How could you do this to me, Rachel? I thought that you and I were friends. We've been so close ever since high school. I thought that I could trust you. But instead, you turned around and stole your own friend's fiancé? You're horrible, you know that?
Well, this may come as news to you, but I never once considered us to be friends at all. I've actually hated you ever since the day that we met. But I could never understand how some poor ugly girl like you was chosen over me by all the boys in school. I swore to myself then that if you were ever going to get married before me, I would steal away your man before you could.
You mean that this has been a plan of yours since you and I were in high school? That's crazy.
You don't understand. I mean, you do know that the high school that we went to was famous for having the children of celebrities and actors and stuff go there, don't you? It wasn't a school for poor little kids like you. I don't even know how you got into the school in the first place. It was probably some charity for sad, poor people with no other means to get an education that paid for you to get in. Just because we went to the same school doesn't mean that you and I are on the same level at all. Got it? I hate when people forget their place and try to be in places where they don't belong.
But I was never doing anything like that at all to begin with. And you have no idea how hard I was working in that school. I only got in because of my good grades, and I would have never been able to afford to go without the scholarship I got. But I always thought that you were the nicest person to me there. You were my best friend. And you hated me this whole time?
But that's just it. You did work hard, and you were even valedictorian for our class. But before you showed up, I was the smartest kid in school. Both my parents were rich and loved me so much. All the teachers could trust me, and I was a favorite across the whole school. But all of that changed when you showed up. Just because you were the new girl who got slightly better grades than me, everyone started treating you like you were the star of the whole show. You totally eclipsed me.
Well, are you really trying to blame me for how other people reacted towards me? I never asked them to treat me like that.
I don't want to hear it from you. Don't tell me that a poor little nobody like you wasn't loving all of that attention. And all because you were good at studying. It isn't fair. You ruined high school for me. Do you know that?
I certainly do now, and at least now I feel like I understand a bit more about why you always hated me like this. But I still don't understand why that drove you to steal my fiancé from me. I mean, we graduated from high school more than 10 years ago. Are you really still upset from then?
Of course I am. You think that I ever got over a poor person like you trying to get above their post in life?
And just what is that supposed to mean?
I mean that no matter how hard you tried after high school, I know that you were never able to amount to anything. And no matter how smart you are now, you're still just a poor nobody. Just like your stupid, poor, ugly parents. You thought that marrying a CEO would be your ticket out of that life? Well, not if I had something to say about it. I wasn't about to let you jump ahead in life like that. It wouldn't have been fair. That's why I had to put you back in your place.
And so that's the real reason why you stole Marcus from me? What are you, some kind of 1800 oil baron or something? I don't think I've ever seen classism this bold-faced in my entire life. Do you think we live in a caste system or something? What is the matter with you? It really is so easy to get poor people upset when you remind them of who they really are deep down. You really thought that you could just marry into the lap of luxury? Sorry, but that was never an option for a poor little nobody like you. It's obvious that I'm a much better person to marry Marcus given my pedigree. Your pedigree? What do you think this is, a dog show or something? Say whatever you want. It doesn't change the fact that Marcus is all mine and there's nothing that you can do about it at all. You're just mad because I took away your own shot at not being poor. Hey Marcus, are you there? Because you and I need to have a little chat. For starters, have you been seeing Rachel behind my back? I know that your parents said hi to her parents at our wedding, but I just had no idea that you would ever do something like this to me.
Wait, hold on a second. How did you find out about Rachel and I? Oh man, I thought that we had done everything to make sure that nobody was ever going to figure out about the two of us.
If you really must know, it was Rachel herself that reached out just to brag to me about how you and her are seeing each other. She even told me about how you proposed to her in a restaurant. So I would just love to hear what you have to say about all of this and just what you have to say for yourself.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me? You mean that Rachel told you all about us? What was she thinking? How could she do that to me? Man, that girl can be a real firecracker sometimes. But yeah, it's true. Everything that Rachel said to you, even the part about us getting married. But you couldn't really expect this to last too long between us, right? I mean, you know that basically my whole family was against the two of us getting married.
Wait, what? What is that supposed to mean? Do you really mean that? Your family never ever wanted you and I to get married?
Of course they were opposed to you and I getting married. Open your eyes! You really think that you were ever good enough to stay married to me? You were just a poor little nobody who I took pity on. But you know that there was no way I was going to let our families merge into one, right?
Are you kidding me? You did not seriously just say that. I can't believe you, Marcus.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. It isn't like your mom or dad is a businessman or a politician or anyone, really. They're just middle-of-the-road regular worker drones. Nobody's, really. Besides, didn't your dad get sick and have to quit his job anyways? Isn't your mom having to cut back on her hours just to take care of him? And you're doing all the heavy lifting for your family, and you're not anyone either.
Don't you talk about my parents like that, Marcus, and just because my dad is sick doesn't mean that you can put him down for it. Besides, it's thanks to their hard work that I was able to afford to go to college. I owe so much to them, and nothing is ever going to take that away.
Don't get me wrong, I really do respect you as a person, Bea. You got into one of the top schools in the country, and I think that's really something. But we just come from two different worlds. Besides, my whole future depends on me taking over the family company, so I really can't go against what my family wants, or else I'm down for.
Well then why were we even together in the first place? If this is really how you felt about things, we should have never been dating in the first place. I never asked you to go and cheat on my classmate.
You really are starting to get annoying, do you know that? I'm telling you why I made my decision. You can like it or not, but don't go trying to make this personal or anything. It's just business.
Business? Are you seriously calling this business? You think that I'm going to buy that, you jerk?
Look, the thing is, I actually really like smart girls like you, okay? But there are things about you that I just can't stand by either. For one, you're a little too smart, maybe even smarter than me, and that's a huge turnoff. I do like smart girls, but being with you made me realize it's better to be with an airhead like Rachel instead. It's just way easier to get her to do what I want than it was with you.
Please tell me that that is not how you actually feel about dating women. That is just disgusting. Rachel is like some kind of avatar of classism, and you're just a horrible sexist. Maybe you two do deserve each other.
It's not sexist, it's just knowing what my preferences are, okay? If you really want to know, the last straw for you was when I had to make that presentation for work. I was struggling with it for so long that I finally asked you to take a look and you basically did it for me all in the span of 20 minutes. I felt completely humiliated. So between my parents not wanting me to marry you and you being too smart for your own good, this is what's for the best. Not to mention that honestly, Rachel is way prettier than you are anyways, so I don't think you could really blame me for wanting to get with her.
So basically, I just have nothing to offer you at all, is what you're saying then.
I mean, in a word, yeah, pretty much. Who ever heard of a man marrying a woman smarter than them? You'd have to be a real moron to do that. Anyways, just accept that this has happened and move on with your life, okay?
Hey, B, I was just curious if you got the invitation to our wedding. I know that you know how much I hate you, but we still have to keep up appearances, you know? I invited everyone from high school, so I had to invite you too, or else people would start to ask questions.
You know, you haven't said one word to hint at all that you're sorry for what you did to me. Not only that, but you have the gall to invite me to your wedding?
Come on, don't be such a sourpuss. Consider this a way to put this all behind us, okay? I invited you to the wedding for your own sake.
My own sake? Just how do you figure that?
Oh, come on. Clearly you're still upset about the breakup, and you must still be getting over your feelings for Marcus. So you can come to the wedding, see Marcus and I kiss and get married, and then maybe that'll shock you out of this mood.
Are you kidding me? Is that why you want me to show up to your wedding?
Well, I also think that you'd really enjoy it. It's going to be a huge venue and cost a ton of money. There are going to be all kinds of industrialists and famous people, and I mean, well, you're so poor that this is probably going to be your one chance to see something like this. Although I understand that you might just grow to hate yourself surrounded by so much success, too.
You have seriously got some nerve inviting me to your wedding just so that you can keep trying to rub your wealth in my face. Do you know that?
Well, if it helps sweeten the deal, we're having the wedding catered by a Michelin-starred chef, and the decorations are going to be to die for. Not only that, but I'm having a really famous fashion designer come out of retirement just to put my wedding dress together.
It sounds like it's going to be quite the event. Are you sure someone like me can go?
Well, at first I was going to have something a little more low-key, but then I thought about it and realized that I'm about to marry a future CEO, and there's no point in being modest. So I decided it would be better to go all out instead, and Marcus's parents seemed to be happy with my place, so it's all good.
Well, I'm really happy that you and his parents are getting along so well. I guess they must feel more at ease talking to you than they were talking to poor old me.
Exactly. In fact, they like me so much that Marcus's dad agreed to pay for the whole thing. It's going to cost at least $1 million.
You're going to spend $1 million on your wedding? That's insane. Are you sure that's really such a good idea?
No duh, it's a good idea. It's a great idea, in fact. Why would you even ask something like that? Or is it just that your poor brain can't even calculate how someone could spend that much and still have more money?
Yeah, it must be something like that, Rachel.
Well, that's okay. I can't expect you to begin to even visualize what $1 million looks like.
Yeah, I wonder if your father-in-law will be able to soon, given that he's been arrested.
Sorry, what do you mean by that?
Haven't you heard the news? You might want to look up his name on Google right now. He's been showing up in headlines ever since last night for what he did, so I might be a bit worried for what that would mean for your wedding.
Wait, hold on. Marcus's dad has been arrested?
Sounds like you have a lot to think about. Maybe I'll just leave you alone for now. But if you really want to know, I don't want to go to your wedding at all. But you did such a good job selling it to me that I think I'll show up anyways.
Wait, no, hold on. You can't just drop a bombshell on me like that and then just try and walk away. What are you talking about with Marcus's dad? What happened? You have to tell me.
I told you, you can just look it up online. There are plenty of stories about it online. Just look up his name and investment fraud.
Wait, you mean that he's been arrested for fraud? He defrauded his own investors?
Yeah, he took a bunch of people's money and wasted it on a scheme that he knew was going to fail. Then he tried to launder the money to other sources, and that's when he got caught. I guess someone must have leaked some evidence of what was going on. No, this can't be happening. I had no idea about any sort of scam. This can't be right. Well, you might want to go ahead and tell the news stations that they got it wrong because you never heard of any of this. Anyway, what was that chef going to cook for the wedding again? This isn't the time to be talking about that. Now, I don't even know if I'll have a wedding at this point. But I already sent out the invitations. I was so looking forward to it. This can't be happening to me. Well, I suppose you might just have to tell people that there's been a change of plans and cancel it for now. B, it's just awful. We had to cancel my wedding. Can you believe it? This wasn't supposed to happen. What is going on? So you did end up canceling it after all. Aw, darn. And I was just starting to get excited to go. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll be able to plan a new one when things settle down. Then you could have your fancy chef and decorations and everything. What are you talking about? There's no way that we're ever going to be able to have the wedding again because the engagement is off. We're not even married and we're already divorced. Wait, what? He's not going to marry you anymore? No, I broke up with him. I could never let my family be associated with his criminal father. Just think of the damage it would do to my family's reputation. I can't possibly let my good bloodline be tainted with his bile, so I told him to hit the road. But now Marcus is refusing to sign the paperwork so that we can call it all off. I see. Yeah, I guess I would be pretty mad too if someone just tried to run off like you're doing. But you need to help me. You have to convince Marcus to formally call off the engagement with me. Sorry, you want me to help you? Are you serious? That's right. He said that he's not going to let me get out of this so easily. And if he doesn't sign the paperwork, then we're not going to be able to officially call off our engagement. You have to think of something and help me out here. You can't be serious, right? You're really asking for my help? Please, maybe you can try and charm him back to liking you. You know all his weak spots and what he likes. I'm sure that if anyone could help me out here, it's you. Plus, you get your fiancé back. It's a win-win. I don't want anything to do with him or you or either of your families ever again. You'll just have to find someone else to do your dirty work for you, but not me. Why don't you go and ask one of your rich friends to do it for you, huh? You don't think I've already thought of that? I called them all and asked for their help, but no one said they would. Some of them had even changed their number, and I can't get a hold of them. Well, then it sounds to me like they just plain don't want to help you. But I have no problem getting a hold of anyone from our school days. Maybe they just saw the news about your father-in-law and didn't want to be associated with you. You're kidding me. You mean you think that all our old friends are just avoiding me? But they're not afraid to stay in contact with some poor little nobody like you. I guess maybe they just don't care as much about how much money I have. You're the only one who seems to treat anyone as poorly as you do just because of their status. Anyways, good luck with your marriage troubles.
Bea, are you there? Please, you have to help me. You have to save me from Rachel. She's crazy, and you're the only one that I can go for help.
What on earth are you talking about, Marcus? I know that your dad is in hot water, but it's times like these that should push you closer to your wife. Go to her for help, not me, okay?
But I don't want anything to do with that moron. She is seriously so dumb and is only interested in trying to run away from me. Even though I'm trying so hard to protect all the family has worked for, she can only think for herself.
There you go again, just calling her an idiot again, huh? But I thought you liked your girls dumb.
Yeah, but not this dumb. I had no idea you could even get this dumb. But I've had my hands so full trying to save the family's business that I barely have time to deal with her anymore. I don't know what's going to break first, my company or my mental state.
Yeah, I've been following the news. It seems like you and your family are going to be in quite a bit of trouble.
But that's why I need your help. But please, I know that you're smarter than me. Maybe if you took a look at some of the papers I have, you could figure out a way to save my company from all this. But please, I need you.
Yeah, that is going to be a no from me. You cheat on me, ruin our engagement, call me too smart, and say that I'm uglier than Rachel, and you think I want to help you? Don't even get me started on what you said about my family, too. This is not my problem, and I refuse to let you or Rachel suck me into this. After that, I heard on the news that Marcus's family company finally declared bankruptcy and that Marcus was attempting to build something from the ashes. But the attempt didn't go so well, and like before, it was swimming in debt before declaring bankruptcy again. Rachel ran to her parents to try and beg for help, but they had both thought that they'd finally gotten rid of her and told her that she was Marcus's problem now. With his dad in jail and 2 bankruptcies, Marcus and Rachel agreed to move in together until they could work something better out for the 2 of them. They still aren't married, but they realize that they both have no one to turn to except for each other.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.